Hey everyone, how's it going? In this video, we're going to work on an example of figuring out a trig function based on a graph in a word problem. So the background to this problem is the London Eye is an observation wheel with a radius of 68 meters. Rides consist of one complete revolution, which takes 30 minutes and begin on a platform 2 meters above the ground. The height h of t in meters of a rider above the ground as a function of time t in minutes can be expressed as h of t is equal to a sine b quantity t minus c plus d. So before we get started, I want to walk through what a, b, c, and d are. So in this case, if we have a sine of b times quantity t minus c plus d, if we think back to the previous video, we have a is our amplitude, which is kind of the distance we go above and below our middle line. B is our frequency, and frequency is just how many, in this case, sine graphs fit between 0 and 2 pi. C is our horizontal shift, so how the sine graph was shifted left or right. And D is our vertical shift, so how much the graph was shifted up or down. So first thing that I'm going to find out is what is our vertical shift? Well, if we look at our original sine graph, it looks a little something like that, and we can see that our middle line is actually right here, where y equals 0. Now, in this case, though, we have, let's say, our London Eye right here, and we start off at a height of 2. So our middle is going to be right here. So what's the distance from the middle of a circle to the edge? Well, that's just a radius. In this case, the problem says our radius is 68 meters. So if this is our radius of 68 meters, then that means our middle is at a height of 70. So that means our y shift, or d value, d is going to equal 70. So let's see where that puts us in terms of the answers. Well, here our d value is 68, so that's out, and same thing here. So now, as you can see, we've limited ourselves already to just b and c. Now, let's take a look at what else we can figure out. Let's try to find what our amplitude is. So, like I said, amplitude is how high or how low we go above our middle line. Now, if we look, if our middle line is at 70 and we go down to 2, how low do we go? We go 68 lower. And we can do the same thing. We have some maximum height right here, and how high above 70 do we go? Well, that's just another radius. So once again, we go 68 above. So that means our amplitude, or a value, is also equal to 68. Let's see where that puts us. Well, here the a value is 34, so that's out. So automatically already, we can just say that B is our correct answer. But let's work through it and find our B and C values as well. Now, it tells us that it takes 30 minutes to complete one full revolution. And from the graph here, it looks like from one point to another point on the same graph, so to complete one cycle, it takes 30 minutes. Now, if we think back to the previous video, the time to complete one cycle, so time for one cycle, what do we call that? That's the period. And what's the relationship the period and the frequency be? Well, period is equal to 2 pi over b. Now, if we know our period, we can find b. We just said our period is equal to 30, so we can say 30 is equal to 2 pi over b. Now, solving for b, we can cross multiply a few things, and we end up with b is equal to 2 pi over 30, or pi over 15. Now let's just make sure that our answer, yep, looks like we have pi over 15 right here. So that's looking good. That's confirming that our answer is B. Now for a horizontal shift, well, that's kind of the trickiest part. So let's see how this graph would look if it didn't have any horizontal shift. It would look something like, so this part would actually be right over here. So it would be something like this. Or rather, a little, something like that. So where it's curved the same amount up as it is down. So if we look, this down curve corresponds with this point. And what's the distance from here to here? Well, it looks like it's halfway from 0 to 15, so it's 7.5. So we know that when we're doing horizontal shifts, if we shift to the right, it's actually going to be written as a minus. So we're going to have minus 7.5. So all that just confirmed that B is the correct answer. I hope this video helped. If you have any questions, let me know. And as always, happy studying.